Yo, welcome to ClankTV. This is Q Reyes coming at you once again. And today I'm going to be talking about why school is bullshit. Formal education is a complete, just a chaos. It's just bullshit. It's not real. Now, I did a video about this a long time ago and a lot of people were upset, especially because I'm talking to the kids about how school doesn't really mean anything. I still feel that way. And if you really think about that, you will feel the same way as well. Now, let me explain something. A lot of people, and I'm talking about formal education. I'm not talking about getting educated. I'm not talking about learning. I'm not talking about knowledge, any of that. I'm talking about formal education. When the established government or society or laws or whatever tells you this is what you need to learn, that's bullshit, okay? What is that? Anything that has a curriculum. Maybe in high school, I know in lower grades they have it. In college for sure. What's the problem with the curriculum is that you are not being educated, you're being indoctrinated. What that means is someone who knows who they came up with what you need to learn, which is X, Y, Z, D, A. You need to learn these things in order for you to receive a certificate saying that you've been educated, which a certificate they call a degree. Most people that get mad at this are people with degrees because they went to school 6, 8, 10 years to get that piece of paper. And they hold a lot of value to it. And it does hold a lot of value because they spend a lot of time and energy and effort and stress trying to get it. But at the end of the day, it's a piece of paper that says that you've learned a curriculum that someone came up with. A lot of people that go to college come out and they have no knowledge on the real world, and especially in their own fields. A lot of people that go to college, they go into a career and then they get a degree in something, and then when they come out, they don't even end up doing that. A lot of other people go get all that preparation, come out, and they're working at something they don't want to work in. Being a server or making coffee, which are great jobs if that's what you want to do. But if you went to school, 6 years, and you're somewhere, at Denny's serving people, and you went for engineering. You're probably not at the place where you want to be in your life. You know what I mean? So it's all about spending time on the things that are passionate to you. Now, if you're passionate about a certain career, by all means, get that degree. Some people that should get a degree only because I personally would want my doctor to know what they're talking about. I want my doctor to definitely know what they're talking about. And any kind of science, needs to get a degree just because it's very specialized and it's non-subjective kind of learning. For example, a doctor goes and they learn about the human body and they learn the vocabulary and where everything is. That's not really subjective. That's something that they need to know, just like a mechanic. A mechanic needs to know where all the parts are of whatever he's fixing, whether it be an airplane or whatever it is. Those are people that need to get that formal education because there's already a system that is not subjective. It doesn't have an opinion. Your heart is your heart. The mechanic, the airplane is the airplane, and it goes a certain way. That's the way it is. There's not an opinion that's going to influence a lot of what the doctors, science, or mechanics say. Some people that are not part of that, and that's not the full list, but there's a lot of other people that should be educated in their field. Most don't. If you're trying to be a writer, if you're trying to write books, if you're trying to, you're trying to give speeches, or you're even a lawyer, the law is, the lawyers go to school all that time. They take the bar just to make sure that they are able to practice law. But if you think about it, that doesn't make you a lawyer, just because you passed the bar. This is some sucky as lawyers out there that have no idea on anything about the law, and that happens because they're good at being standardized. They know how to take that test. They know how to beat that test, but put them in court and there's nothing they can do for you. And they're gonna fail a lot of people. When there's other people out there that have never been to law school that are excellent lawyers. They just can't practice. A lot of lawyers, I'll tell you right now, are prisoners. A lot of prisoners get so engulfed with the time and with the law and reading, and they become probably, if they would let prisoners practice law, they will be some of the best lawyers out there because they just have that time, and they'll spend that energy into gathering that information out of a place of passion rather than just to make money. Now, why school is bullshit and the formal education? Because they also teach you, besides the curriculum, they teach you, they program schedules. It's all about scheduling. It's all about the test is going to be on Monday. You have to be here at 8:15. We're going to be here until 8:45, and then you have to do this at this time, and then after you do that, the semester is over. It's all about schedule. It's preparing you to go into a slave mentality of normalcy, of like life. That's not the way life is. Life is not about schedules, because you can die any minute, and accidents happen any moment. Things happen all the time. The world is in constant flux. So when you have a schedule and you try to live your life with that schedule, you can't be happy. You can't be happy going to a job every day at 8 in the morning and getting scolded for being late. That's what school is. School is preparing you for that. So if you're not the kind of person that wants to be scolded for being 2 minutes late every day to your job, school's not for you. It's just not. Another thing that schools do is that they teach based on what they say is right. Excluding the professions that actually have people that, doctors need to know, you need to know where my heart is. Besides those professions, everything else is based on whatever that school system or whatever that book they assigned you, whatever that is, that's what their education is coming from, whatever they think is right. If they tell you Christopher Columbus discovered America and whatever, then whatever is going to be the date. You don't have to, they don't even make you think. And I bet you I said that, whatever, and everybody already thought, 1492. Because that's what you don't even question it. Was it 1493 maybe? 1491? Maybe 1402? I mean, who knows? Who really knows? I mean, but whatever book, whatever stories were related said it was 1492. So I guess that's when it was. And if you question that, you're gonna get that wrong in the test, and you're gonna fail. So they teach you based on what they think is right. So they will teach you things based on whatever they want you to think. And if you question those things, you will not pass whatever class. You're not educated. To them, education is about indoctrination, making you feel and behave and act a certain way. That's why formal education is bullshit. The list goes on of why formal education is bullshit, but I'm gonna touch on some financial aspects. If you go to school and you're spending 70 grand, 80 grand, 100 grand for a career that makes 20 grand a year, 30 grand a year, 40 grand a year, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense that you're spending more money learning about something that makes less money than whatever it is that you're learning about. I mean, does it even make sense? Just that sentence? Like, it doesn't make sense. But a lot of people spend a lot of money. They go into debt, which is easy to do. They make it easy for you to go into debt. getting an education on something that you could have learned on YouTube, looking at tutorials. In 2 weeks you could be whatever it is that you went to school for 4 years for. But it's that mentality that keeps you in fear. Like, if I don't get this education, I'm never going to amount to anything. And then your mom probably put that in your head, and your dad and your grandma and everybody around you and your friends, and your friend didn't get an education, so look how bad he's doing. It's just bullshit. It's just like if people were to dedicate themselves into getting the knowledge on their own, just about the things that you love and you like, and if you want to learn how to do something, just look it up and go to the library, get a book, and self-educate. Even if you don't get a degree, you're probably going to end up better off than people that do get a degree, because a lot of people with degrees have to start from scratch. You go to school all that time, you have to start from scratch somewhere, and then since you already learned the bureaucracy through school on how it works, when you go to your job, you fall right in line. Yet someone that can really do the job, they will never get that opportunity because they don't have that degree. Now, another financial aspect beyond that is the books. First of all, the history books are a mess. Do they even know the source of their history? Like, I mean, they don't even know at this point where some of the history comes from. They just put it in the book and they vomit it to the students. The students have to learn it, and then they put it into an essay, and now they learn the information, but then no one knows what information came from where and how does it affect their lives later on. But besides that, besides the books being a total mess and a scam, books are way more expensive than they need to be. All right, so a math book, let's say on average, I don't know, $250. I know this is more expensive out there. $250. Do you really think it costs them $250 to make that math book? Do you? Of course not. Okay, so they're a company that needs to make a profit. That's cool. Okay, we're gonna leave it like that. Now, every year they have a new math book. Every year there's no new math. Do you understand how stupid that is? Do you understand that if every year for 4 years in your university you're buying a new math book and there's no new math on there, all the math in the world has been invented, yet they have a new version every year and it's revised and it costs you even more expensive than, come on, like, I'm like, yo, are you, I mean, how seriously indoctrinated are you already to think that that's even like smart in any type of way? I don't get it. Well, that's part of the books. I personally have a 10-hour speech I can give you on why formal education is bullshit, why it's really bad for our society, why it's bad for our minorities, why history not being told the right way can really, really hurt the people whose history is being told, why writing your own history is a lost art that is the reason that why we are the way we are right now as a society, why a lot of the indigenous history never makes it into these books in the American culture system. I mean, you think about Mayan history or a lot of the Indian, the Native American history that was here, all of that was burnt, all their books were burnt, the people that had the knowledge, when they would pass it down, they were killed. A lot of history's lost. So really, you're learning about the history they want you to learn. I bet you know about the Sistine Chapel, you know all about all of that, but do you really know the Navajo history, the people that actually were the first Americans? You probably don't know about that, but it's out there if you want to look for it, and that's what I mean. You don't need a degree to really look for that knowledge and that information. Yo, I'm gonna be out because I'm getting heated, I'm getting upset. And until next time, if you don't like what I'm saying, then I don't care. That's the bottom line. Formal education is still bullshit to me. And if you don't like what I'm saying, I bet you most likely you probably have a degree and you're probably so educated that you know better than me. So I'm gonna be out, man. Until next time, peace.